Hello.
Good afternoon, Wednesday Wooly. How are you?
Not too bad. Yeah, it is Wednesday. It is
It's
weird.
Wednesday. It's the day before the Game Awards, which I have discovered in the past few days has maybe the worst acronym I've ever seen in my life because it's the TGAs. But what you're actually saying is the Game Awards when you
The
say
TGAs.
the TGAs.
Yep. Correct.
Terrible.
Chai tea.
Terrible.
I mean, it's so your choices are that or VGAs, which
But that's a
then
different thing.
means you
Totally.
can't look up your screen or video card issues. Like
You're right. I never
they
even
both
realized.
suck. They both
But
suck.
also Spike TV owns that.
Spike owns the VGAs, so this has to be the TGAs. Yes.
Wooly, I have a super good idea. Do you want to hear my really super good idea?
Go for it.
All right. Wooly, I want you to hire me, and you're going to pay me $10 million to teach you and other people to be tall. Okay? Now, you're not allowed to look at me or measure me. Okay? But you're going to give me all the money, and if I can't make other people tall, you could just put me on any project you want. Does that seem like a good deal to you?
Are there any deadlines on the tallness?
Yeah,
or...
it's by the end of the quarter.
Okay. All right.
I have to make all of the people that you know who are short taller.
Okay.
Because that sounds like a good deal to Sony. I'm trying to make a joke about Bungie here. Bungie's never made any money on Destiny.
Getting
ever.
tall. Okay, I'm trying to find the tall part and where
thing
the okay.
is that I'm
All
not
right.
tall. I'm very short. In fact, I tried.
Okay, the thing that you don't know
That I
too
can't
much
do
about that you
and
can't
aren't.
possibly do. I mean,
So Bungie, a company that doesn't make any money by itself, you buy them to tell you how that your other projects can make money, but they don't actually make any money, so they don't know how to tell you to make any money.
Yeah, okay, so right in then. This is like it's Bungie's basically there's an article that came out describing the soul crushing environment that exists there now, and a lot of the source of this is because half of the board of developers there is currently Sony execs, and the other half is Bungie execs fighting to keep Sony from taking over the whole company. So there is a like straight up like war in the boardroom, like every time decisions are made, because one group is interested in the buyout and the other is interested in not. And the fight for not being bought out rolls out into all the things we saw, like the layoffs and the story that goes into the 100 employees that were laid off last month. Of the 1,200 that were there, is now they're talking about what else they did to like cut costs, and it's fucking nuts.
Did you read this or did you skim it? Because
I skimmed and I have some highlights that were
They're
particularly
so much.
interesting.
So this is IGN.com's article called Bungie devs say atmosphere is soul crushing amid layoffs.
Yeah. So particularly, okay. So when it's this like little like shot and chaser here, right? 1 month after a major round of layoffs, roughly 100 Bungie employees of 1,200 of those remaining at Destiny, remaining at the Destiny developer says the cuts, as well as other cost-cutting measures, came alongside the apparent scramble of leadership to avoid a total Sony takeover.
And you're like, but why? Hold on. I'm going to hold on for a second.
Go for it.
The first question is like, why were they so desperate to cut? And it's because the deal they made with Sony is that Bungie's board of directors got to keep running the company as long as the company made money. And if the company didn't make enough money, then the whole of Bungie would just become a full subsidiary of Sony, and Sony could tell them to do anything they wanted, and it would be 100% their company. So they become incentivized per quarter to hit very specific numbers, or the board loses their jobs.
The slow takeover, like the fucking Majin symbol on Vegeta, you know, like
Yeah,
tap
absolutely.
into the power, but you know who your soul belongs to now. Yeah. So of course, when the layoffs are what are we're seeing publicly, and so what this story kind of goes into is the stuff happening behind the scenes as well, the cost cutting measures that were implemented, including
There's so much.
a studio-wide hiring freeze, reducing travel budgets, elimination of holiday bonuses,
That's big. That one's huge.
keeping its annual Bungie Day virtual, delaying its week-long company pentathlon event to next December, reducing the number of morale events such as cooking, knitting classes, etc., from monthly to quarterly, pausing or fully ending benefits for employee compensation adjustments, and
The new lunch program, employee donation matching, peer recognition program, gift cards for your birthday, performance bonuses are down from 100% to 80%.
after being above 100% for good performance several previous years running. Okay. Others said they were rebuffed repeatedly and discouraged from even discussing the layoffs when they tried to ask questions. Employees in one department recalled a session where the department head was asked if leadership is taking salary cuts to prevent the layoffs, if that had been considered, and the response was,
Bungie's not that kind of company.
like, run down that list again of like 8,000 things we'll try. We're so desperate. We'll try everything, guys.
Also, this is
everything.
This is a bonus funzie,
but I won't do that.
Deeper in the article, where there's people that got there's more people that got laid off that were more important than were previously reported. So Bungie's general counsel, the lawyer, a guy named Don McGowan, who won that suit against a player who harassed Bungie, he's gone. They also specifically laid off the heads of internal company clubs for pride at Bungie, women at Bungie, and accessibility at Bungie. And two of those little clubs on their website, the web pages are broken now. So those things are dead.
I will do anything for cash, but I won't do that. Oh no. Like, it's of course that's the fucking, end of the line there is we're not that kind of company. And then, yeah, of course. So, you're like, all right, take that as your, that's the mentality, right? Of that board of directors handling all of this. Everything's on fire. Everything is in crisis. We can't let this takeover happen. We've got to do everything we can do.
Hey, Woolie, I have a cost cutting measure. What if? So we all know that people in QA are, quote, non-developers, end quote.
Oh.
Right? So I'm reading that right. That is in quotes. Mm-hmm. So what if we fired a shit ton of our internal QA and outsourced QA?
Good.
That would surely save us money. Yes?
Because
we can get our 10,000 hours for cheap over here.
Absolutely. Yep. And just you're going to get the same. So the Q and QA will be upheld and underlined assuredly if we take it and throw it over there and see what's going on. Outsourcing, having worked both, talked infinitely about it, but having worked both in outsourcing QA and internally, like the you've seen and heard the reports of like shit where they literally are like people are checking into their kits and outsourcing, sitting there not doing anything sometimes and like billing the man hours regardless. You need a team of people in the studio that are working with your developers that are there, and you need them treated like human beings usually to get shit accomplished. It's kind
Woolie, like this is going to sound very strange, but I could tell that you were doing a more effective job at IDOS than you were at the outsourced places that you worked.
Interesting.
Based on the look on your face when you would show up to record something in the evening. Because you would show up from IDOS and you look like a normal person who someone listened to at your job. But when you showed up from like Babel, you were just like dead in your eyes and your soul, because the bugs that you had submitted you knew weren't going to get fixed.
Well, the difference is caring about what you're doing having an effect on the of what happens versus it not having an effect whatsoever. And like and then caring and then pointing out the problem, or caring too much is like, well, now you're an issue because you're being an ass about this. And at the end of the day, anyone above you here doesn't actually give a fuck about what's being worked on. But the thing is, of course, is that for these people to be internal and like, you know, working close to the devs and such, that's the effective way to go in most cases. But you have to have this bullshit where it's like they're treated as, again, non-devs, right?
Non-devs.
Like that quotation mark says everything you need to know. That is the most heavy weighted 2 words right there, because you're like,
guys.
Okay, that means they're over there. You lunch break separately. You know what I mean? Like you're not part of the group.
Why do these QA guys keep putting bugs in our games?
And you just know the story of how they're treated as a result of that. Yeah, it's kind of like it all. I'm reading this. I'm scanning. I'm grabbing the bits and pieces, and booming in the back of my head is a voice from the heavens from years ago, and it's just screaming the word wet naps. I don't know if you remember wet naps, but it never goes away, dude. It never goes away.
So we skimmed over it, but I'm intentionally leaving the best quote for last. Straight from the article. Several people we spoke to told us that leaders had reiterated across multiple meetings they couldn't guarantee there wouldn't be more layoffs, with 2 specifically confirming previous reports. The chief people officer, Holly Barbakovi, outright stating that the layoffs were a, quote, lever, end quote, the company would pull again.
Cool.
Like it's a trap door that disappears people out of the company.
Well, you know what, guys? Keep saying to yourselves, we're not that kind of company, right? Look yourself in the mirror, stare, wash your face, and look deep into your soul and say, we're not that kind of company, as it all fucking crumbles around you. You know? Yeah, just everything we can do. Every possible penny we can save.
So,
but God forbid the fucking execs take a cut anywhere.
So it's pretty on the wall here, because the deal with Sony is they have to make their numbers, right? They have to make their numbers or Sony takes control, because they wouldn't be happy with the cut. And the solution to not hitting their numbers was cutting 10% of their staff, all bonuses, cost of living adjustments, and every single perk that existed for working there. But you can't cut those things again. You can't take away holiday bonuses again.
More. Yeah.
Right?
Negative. Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And now they have to do 100. And they also had to delay Final Shape, which means they have a quarter that's empty. So they have to do like twice as good with like 85% of the staff, and the staff are all like thinking about quitting.
And this
like,
is
Woolie,
all. And this is all like on the heels of the last Bungie story, which was, hey, Marathon's coming back, except it's not, and everyone who's a Marathon fan is pretty bummed out about what they saw.
That's right.
Like, you know, like the thing that could be like the excitement
Woolie,
that might generate some money down somewhere or something is like actually not really. People are kind of fucking
Listen.
pissed about what's going
Listen.
on with
Okay.
the other thing.
We're going to need Final Shape to be the best ever. We cut your bonus right before Christmas, and we can't authorize you any overtime. And your boss is gone. And QA is now at half strength, so you're just going to have to fix some of those yourself. But Final Shape. It's going to be the fact that it's called Final Shape is so funny.
And by the way, as we double, triple, and quadruple the workload on the individual QA teams, we also punish you for everything that you're like the inability to keep up with this increased workload, the weight on your shoulders. Every time you stumble on that, we're gonna fucking penalize you heavier and heavier because you have to do more than your fair share of the job, but that's the gig. Too fucking bad.
So we're now in the post-acquisition death spiral. The next step is for Final Shape to come out and for everything to be inexplicably more expensive. Right? Like every single cosmetic, every single, like maybe the game itself, just more expensive because, well, we need to make more money on the same thing. And then this will lead to lower player retention, which will lead to panic firings, which will then lead to Sony taking over a company that is a shell of its former self.
And again, and don't forget, and
wait, they did that this week? What? Did I miss like a huge Destiny price increase that happened this week?
Oh, did that already go down? Oh,
did that just happen?
Well, we are living in the times, aren't we? The news is all around us.
Seeing people say $50 for dungeon. What does that mean? They already did that. Someone send me a link or something.
Sure. But yeah, and you know, with each layoff, there comes the increased workload. With the increased workload, and all of that, there's a whole part of this article as well that's talking about like increased hostility from leadership to the teams and such as well, because like everyone is just the whip crack is coming from on high, and it just, everyone hates being there. It just sucks.
$15 for starter pack of shitty weapons and skins you would get within 2 hours of playtime. Starter bundle. Okay, yeah, no, they're adding the bullshit.
Cool. All right, so yeah. Anyways, you know, like like the idea, like the thing is though, it's you kind of have to imagine, like, again, it's on fire and like half the boardroom is like running in circles and fucking going and freaking out, and the other half is just like licking their chops, just sitting there watching. You know, like the Sony execs are just there like trying not to drool every time something explodes.
Aren't even getting what they wanted, because Sony bought it for two reasons. One, they wanted Destiny money, which God damn it. Okay, we've been talking about this for like 5 years, right? Everybody wants to be Destiny. Everybody looks at Destiny as like the success for the live service model. And it's like, you mean the Destiny that Activision willingly let go, and then the Destiny that had to allow itself to get bought by a different company to make ends meet? Like, Destiny doesn't make any fucking money. It doesn't. It's not successful. It looks successful, but it's not actually. But Sony gives them $2.5 billion,
right,
so that they can have some of the money they don't have, and then they gave them extra money specifically. Don't fire anybody. We want everyone to stay there. We want you guys working at peak efficiency. And the instant that deal was gonna fall through with the quarterly fucking reports, they went and fired 10% of people, and they're saying we could fire another 10%, whatever it takes to hit the numbers. So by the end of this fucking thing, you're going to have like 25% of the people gone. The game is going to be overpriced and unloved because everything's all rushed and shit. And Sony's going to go, cool, we own Destiny. But the version of Destiny that we have now sucks compared to the one we bought. And that one wasn't even that good.
Right. It's kind of nuts to just imagine to still like you're looking at a ship that is being the mast is being fought over by these groups regardless for the like Sony is clearly like this as bad as this is like they clearly want to move these people out, take over, and I don't know what the layoffs look like at that point, considering the way the rest of this year has gone in terms of layoffs in general. That number could severely increase. But I don't know. I feel like, again, like we know about there's Final Shape and there's Marathon. Is there anything unannounced that like is being worked on that hasn't been?
I think it's those two.
That's just those two, huh? Yeah.
And it's like Bungie is supposed to be overseeing the production of Sony's like live service division. Would you take advice from these guys right
now? Well, yeah. So there you go. That's
oh my god,
that is the state of affairs.
Like every single acquisition has led to everything just disintegrating like right away. Have you noticed that?
I mean, like we're still, there's so many like Embracer Group knockoff stories that like not knockoff, domino effect things that are happening from week to week. That it's just like, yeah, it's almost like there's no, I don't even throw them on anymore. But it's just like, you know, that fell apart and everything as a result of them not getting the Saudi deal that they were supposed to get or whatever means it's all on fire, and that's it. Acquisitions and firings is 2023 in terms of.
Oh god, what game was it? There was a classic PC game that System Shock. It was System Shock. System Shock got into a very weird state in the aughts because nobody could figure out who actually owned it. It had been passed around via buyouts and via mergers to the point where no one could figure out who actually owned System Shock until like the tens, I think it was, or the late aughts, where it was like a fucking insurance company out of England had somehow ended up with the rights to System Shock, right? And then Night Dive and whoever, they went and bought it from them, and now we have System Shock games again, right? Embracer Group is that. They're like fucking Deus Ex and fucking Legacy of Kain and fucking Time Splitters and all that shit. It's just gonna languish in a fucking copyright safe at Embracer Group to be dead forever until we forget that Embracer Group even has them, or they sell them as part of a fucking portfolio of IP rights to some fucking I don't know,
liquidation
like Saudi
packages.
insurance adjustment.
What was it? Yeah, okay, yeah. Unity 300, Microsoft 10,000, Digital Extremes, Epic Games, Telltale, Bungie, CD Projekt, Ascendant, EA, Embracer, Volition, Amazon. Like, just, yeah, right.
Like, if you are part of a company that got bought by Embracer Group, you're going to get fired.
I think, okay, so I'm looking here at like they're tracking it at about 7,000 layoffs this year total for a number of video game companies. I guess not counting this.
Wooly, I just got a link from an article from May, which I had not noticed. Back in May, the season pass prices for Destiny got kicked up. They increased the price on it.
Mm-hmm.
They went from 2 silver bottles, 500. Okay, yeah. So it was already starting, like back in May, which was the price increase. So hopefully they hit their numbers this time.
Mm-hmm.
They won't.
Mm-hmm.
They will not. They will not hit their numbers. Oh
Well,
man.
yeah. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, you want to have some fun? Go down to Glassdoor. Are you familiar with Glassdoor, Wooly?
Isn't that is it a review site?
It is a review site for your employer.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You go down to Glassdoor, and for whatever reason, Bungie devs love posting on Glassdoor on the way out. So you get a little taste of like how's it feel behind the scenes. And it always seems to be like the same thing. Like they don't complain about the money, they don't complain about the perks, which is good for video game dev, right? They all complain that the middle management and the senior devs don't listen to anyone and are like egocentric assholes. And they go, I can't take it anymore, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's only so many years I can work here without being listened to even a little. I'm out of here.
In pretty much almost every case I can think of where it's always somebody who gives a fuck and knows what they're doing is roadblocked, bottlenecked, etc., whatever, by somebody who doesn't give a fuck and is also getting annoyed that you keep poking them about this thing because they care.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
No one. No, and you're just like. It doesn't matter what these extra little things that get taken away or get thrown. It doesn't, because at the end of the day, most of the time it's like I want the thing that I made, I want the game I'm working on to come out good, and I want that to be something I'm proud of, And yeah, like it's always just bullshit like that. Shitty management.
You know what else? There's another company that acts that way. Bethesda has had people leave over specifically Todd. Where they're like, Todd, can I please have a new animation system? When this shit's 14 years old. Can we please spend some technical time on it? And the answer that comes back is like, maybe in 5 years. And people just leave over that.
The constant is also the hey, do you think if we there's a producer role open, do you think if we hired from somebody that is literally in the team that knows this project inside out and is aware of the exact needs on a day-to-day basis, that person could do a good job? It's like, yeah, sure, we could, but fuck that. We bring in an outsider who doesn't know anything about this, who's just really good at talking, and they're going to jump in diagonally with a fake resume essentially, and spend let's say 6 months or so just kind of walking around and
talking to people at
just
their desks,
talking to
stopping
people
them from working.
Yeah, and then taking whatever they can gather from those conversations and writing up a report and sending it upstairs and making it seem like they're involved in any way, shape, or form. And in the meantime, absolutely nothing is fucking happening. Yeah, it's a constant thing. Just like, no, we get someone from the outside, and in a lot of cases too, it's like, well, they're going to come in at a rate that is
you would never get internally.
Of course not, right? And it's like,
because you had to find them, you had to scout them,
and that demoralizer right there is in many cases enough for someone to be like, yeah, okay, fuck this, I'm out. I can literally I can put this same work into something else somewhere else and actually have a shot at it mattering. So yeah, cool. As usual, this is a story that is just a mid fucking...
Oh, we have a correction from somebody in the chat who worked at Bethesda that says it was the board that was actually blocking animation improvements, not Todd.
But yeah, this is a report from the middle of the smoldering, burning house. The fire is not yet out, nor has the building been saved. It is an ongoing story. So we'll see what the fuck happens.
Yeah, we're in the part of the story where it's like, you're just gonna have to do more with less.
Yeah, no. This is reporters running into the house and asking the people trapped inside, like, "Hey, how's it going?" They're like, not
Bad.
great. Cool. More at 6. Anyway.
What fucking? Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, that's fine. I'll just wash that all away with a cool, refreshing sip here of my beverage.